All right, so just wanted to tell this story. Um, a long time ago, it was actually 1994. I was sitting in my dorm room, um, University of Michigan, Ann Arbor campus, and I was sitting in my dorm room playing Sega Genesis. And my girlfriend at the time, she called me, and she said, "Hey, I got somebody to talk to you about. I need you to come across the street." Her dorm was right across the street from mine, so I went over there, wanted to see what was going on. And she said, "Hey, I'm pregnant." So I was like, one of the first questions I asked her was, "Well, what you telling me for, right? Why I need to know that, right? Why is that important to me?" I was 20 at the time. I wanted to be a film director. I was studying film and video production and studies at the University of Michigan. I wanted to be a filmmaker. I thought I was going to be going around the world, taking flights and filming here, filming there. I was going to be the next Spike Lee, right? That's what I wanted to do. And so the good thing is, I did have a roommate who had some sense. God basically put me with somebody that had some sense, right? So my roommate was like, "Man, it's probably not a good idea, to break up with her or whatever," because that's what I did, and I ended up getting back with her. But you know, she was like, "Well, what you want to do?" I'm like, "Well, you leaving this up to me?" It's like that was an easy choice. You know what I mean? It was really easy for me. So I went on ahead, and we went on ahead actually scheduled an appointment with the abortion clinic. All right, so we went to the abortion clinic. You know, she started to change her mind and kind of wanted to, I guess, ask me a question or something. But I literally pushed her. It's like, "No, go on back there. Go on back there, take care of that," right? And so she goes to the back with the doctor. I'm in the lobby watching Jerry Springer, just having a good old time, right? So like 15 minutes later, the nurse and the doctor come back up and they call me or whatever. So I come back to the front and I see her walking with the doctor, and I knew just like she hadn't had the procedure done. So in that very instant, though, it was like my whole attitude changed. You know what I mean? Tears started running down my face, and I remember just thinking like, "Man, what are you about to do here?" And it was just like I went from not wanting to be a dad, from wanting to get rid of this kid, to all of a sudden like, "Man, I'm about to be a dad. Like this is cool. This is fantastic." We started doing Lamaze classes together, and all this stuff. I started reading to the baby, which I found out was going to be a girl. I started reading to her while she was still in her mother's stomach. So in my college textbooks and stuff, I would read that to her because I wanted her to be smart. I felt like, hey, African American kids typically are behind to start out with. Why not give this kid a head start, right? And so we lived together and everything, and she was born, and it was just an amazing feeling, man. It's just even while she was there, for the first 8 months after me graduating from college, I couldn't find a job, which actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise because I got to spend a lot of time with my new daughter. I got the chance to read to her, talk to her, hang out with her. I never believed in talking, babies in the goo goo gaga, ooh coochie oochie coochie coo. No, I never believed in that. You know what I mean? It was always like, let me talk to you like you're a college kid already, because that's what I'm trying to send you eventually. At one point in your life, right? And so, and it turned out to be a good thing, man. Me and her mother, we didn't stay together. Um, and she actually got pregnant the second time, and she aborted that child. This time, she didn't give me any kind of, she didn't give me any kind of choice in the matter. Um, when she realized that I wasn't going to marry her, she went and aborted the child, which has turned out to be probably one of the biggest regrets of my life, man, because I would have had another daughter. And I do have another daughter now who's much younger, but I would have had a daughter at that time. And so, but anyway, my daughter did turn out to be just as great as we thought she would. Probably even better. She ended up going to a boarding school for high school. She got a full ride to this boarding school. Now she's currently in school, in college rather, and she's got a full ride to college. She ended up getting a 31 on her ACT test, which if you know anything about the ACT, that's like really high, definitely much higher than what I did. But just a blessing, man. So it's just a blessing to see that, because I was thinking like, man, this is going to be a big inconvenience. I want to take care of a kid. I'm barely a grown man myself, 20 years old, still trying to figure things out. I didn't have a good foundation. I mean, I grew up in foster homes, so it wasn't like I was like set or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But it was just like I didn't think I can give her a good life. And even though me and her mom didn't stay together, I got to say, it turned out to be a thing where we did co-parent together, and it worked out fine, man. I hear horror stories about some brothers having, to co-parent with with some, quote unquote baby mamas and having a terrible time. I gotta at least admit, that I didn't have a terrible time with her, which I appreciate. Um, and she didn't have a terrible time out of me. We worked together. So anything we sometimes argue about, wanting to spend more time with her. I want to spend more time with my daughter. She wants to spend more time with her sometime. But it turned out all right, man. And she's just doing phenomenal now. My daughter, has been out of the country 4 times now. More than a lot of other people, a lot older than her now, and it's just amazing, an amazing thing. She's 21 years old, or about to be, and it turned out fine, man. I just feel like if you um, just trust in the Lord, even though I wasn't doing the right thing, even though I was, sinning, even though I was having sex out of wedlock, but I just wasn't going to extinguish this child's life. At first I was, but when the Holy Spirit got a hold of me, man, and those tears just started flowing down, and my attitude changed in an instant. It wasn't no forethought to it. It just kind of happened. I just want to say, man, if you're thinking about aborting your child today, especially if you're a man right now, and you're able to influence that situation, whether it's your girlfriend, your wife, a sister, an auntie, mother, whoever it is, man, whoever you got access to, step up, man. Step up and do the best that you can to help out, man. Because sometimes we know about situations because we're supposed to do something about them. And so you need to go ahead, man. I encourage you to go ahead and do your best to kind of just get involved. Get involved somehow. Life is precious, man. So anyway, all life is precious. So I share that story with y'all. Thanks a lot.